first vantage point on Topaz Mountain. Just the random spot I decided to pick the day before my blasting tour with Topaz Mountain Adventures, which was very cool of them to offer that, because all I try to do is do a prospecting tour, and they're hooking me up. So we're gonna do a really good video out here in Topaz Mountain, out in Utah, Wendover, Utah. But it was quite a climb up here. It's been a while since I've done any sort of climbing, and my hands and my feet tingle when I'm looking down behind me, and I didn't used to do that. I used to scale right up stuff and never even feel it. And now I'm getting all tingly and stuff, so I'm gonna have to do some more of this. If you can see, way down there is my car. So that's where I started. This is where I'm at. I believe this is rhyolite, white sort of stone, granite. You can see the bugs all in it. I mean, this is like a giant waterway. It's been eaten through, it looks like. But you can see where there's like bug holes and stuff. So I assume this is the stuff I'm looking for. Not necessarily that there'll be any topaz in this. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm not on the private claim I'm going to be digging on tomorrow. So I'm hoping you can see me good. This is day one of my Topaz Mountain adventure, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, which is pretty much how I go out to every mine. That's the premise of this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's see what I can find, if it's worth it for you to go out there. But I mean, from what I've heard about Topaz Mountain, it's worth it for anybody to come out here. Today, I am wandering around from what I saw on YouTube, seeing what I can find. I'm hoping to get around where the red barrel is, but I'm not absolutely sure I'm going to get to that today, because like I said, I just went randomly. I think I've seen this area on somebody's YouTube video, but he was specifically looking for topaz. I know, I'm 90% positive I'm not inside the private mining claim. I broke up and opened a couple of little pieces of gosh, it begins with a P, and now I can't remember the name of the stone. I've remembered the name of the stone forever until right now. Anyways, this is the stuff, the white granite. I can't remember the name of it at this second. I'll remember it later. And I'm brain farting on it. So anyways, let's see what I can find with just off of watching a couple of YouTube videos. You can see I'm already at the top. Way back down there is my car. It's beautiful out here. It's a great day to be out here. It's like, 70 something degrees. When the sun comes out, it goes up to probably 75, and you get about pretty hot if you're moving fast. Ooh, actually, right below me, this is hollow. And that's sort of rotteny feeling. And I've heard about this before, and that's sort of hollowy. I'm just going to break this section right open right here and see what I find. So I've been hunting around here for about 2 hours. I'm still ways away from my car. I found an area that was just whiter than everything else. If you can see right behind me, this is the pegmatite. It has to be. It's sort of shimmery, like it's got little crystals on it in it, just the regular white pieces. And I mean, it's like looks like glass and sand around me. But so I went to breaking off this section right here. And if you can see, oh, there's one. It's coming out. It's very small, but it's super pretty. So it's a tiny one right there, but that's a topaz. And there are more in here. You can see without me falling off this hill behind me. There's a topaz right there. Topaz right there. Which means I'm in the right area. So tomorrow should be great, but at least I know where to work to start breaking out some topaz. Peace. So I've already found some topaz, breaking it out of the inside of rocks, but I didn't see any in the area I was actually in, but I could see like glittering inside of the pegmatite. Now, if you see this big, beautiful, there it is. See that big, beautiful work of art? I don't know who did it, God or whoever, whatever you believe in. I don't believe in God, I believe in universal energy, but whatever, right? Doesn't matter. And as I'm walking around, I'm just crossing by quickly, and I start seeing glinties. I mean, like, they're all over here. I can just reach down and pick up stuff that looks like little diamonds. Look at this one. That little bastard is pretty. Like, that is a pretty, really clear, pretty looking topaz. So that tells me this pegmatite area I'm on right here, has a lot of topaz in it, because I mean, it's all over the ground. Good morning. It's May 7th, 2016. I'm in Wendover, Utah at Topaz Mountain. That you see off here to my left and behind me is Topaz Mountain. I was supposed to start this leg of the trip in the salt plains of Oklahoma, digging for hourglass selenite, but I sort of messed that one up on the timing aspect. So I'm going to do an extra dig or two along my route going from Utah to Oregon, probably for some star garnets. And also we're going to go dig some fossils at the U-Dig site that's not too far from here, because the owner of the claim that we're going to be out here blasting on today, Topaz Mountain Adventures, the owner David, told me to give a phone call to the owner of U-Dig and see if they'd like me to do a video, and they said yes. So yay, we're going to dig for fossils in the next couple of days too, and I'll be posting that up on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook page. So I called David from Topaz Mountain Adventures and just asked him for permission to go ahead and do the video, right? Just some common courtesy. And he sent me back an email saying, hey, if you're going to do a video, I definitely want you to do a video, but how about we do it while I do a blasting tour and dynamite some of the area to open it up, which that's one of the options they do if you're on their website and you're looking at going to Topaz Mountain and mining on the Topaz, or prospecting on the Topaz Mountain Adventures claim. They have blasting tours. They have public blasting tours. They have one next week. They also have private blasting tours like we're going to be doing today. And I mean, if you brought your family out to a private blasting tour and paid the money for them to blast, you're guaranteed to find tons of topaz. We're going to find out exactly how much today. Ooh, go falling. Topaz Mountain Adventure has had a huge issue with the locals and people that have been coming out to this area for years. They bought the mining claim in the last year. The owner before them got tired of trying to chase people off. He's owned the claim for 20 years. After the first 5 years of trying to chase people off, he gave up and he just spray painted signs. keep out, you know, private area, private mining claim, but that never mattered. People still went ahead and mined it. So since the new owners, David and Rhonda, have purchased it, they've been trying to let the local populace know that it's not part of the public area and that it is a privately owned mining dig, or a privately owned mining claim, and that they want people to keep out of the blasting areas. They're even all right with people digging in some of the areas that are outside of the blasting areas, that are, you know, closer to the public areas. So I'm going to give you a scope of the public areas right now. This big hill over here, all this is public. This is in the area called the Bowl, which is pretty much the most popular digging area. All this mountain is all public. This whole Bowl area back here in the back is all public. All the way to right about there. All of this is public area to dig in. And I will show you more of the boundaries here in a while. Right now, I'm going to go up there and hunt for red barrel. So I'm walking up the road right now on Topaz Mountain Adventures claim. This is after the sign that tells you it's the claim. This hill right here is one of their blasting hill areas. Got this other hill behind that tree right there is one of their blasting areas. We're going to be up on that in a second. Pretty much this whole 40 acres from the top of that ridge line in a triangle over to the back end of that white mountainside right there, this hillside, till the back end of that is theirs. I'm also walking on, this is part of their claim also. These are some of the areas that they dig and blast stuff in. But that big white area right there, that is pit A. That is the #1 site for them blasting rock and stuff like that, and making it to where we can get really choice specimens out instead of just shards of topaz. So you got all the parking over here, which you don't need a 4x4 vehicle or one with a nice lift. I made it back out here in my bottomed out 2007 Ford Taurus, but it sure would be helpful, and I was extremely careful about getting out here. So your public digging areas are that whole mountainside right there, and the bowl that I show on, that's a different section of the video. That whole back area back up there, and that big hilltop up there. It's all public digging area, but there's a lot of public digging area, so. Hey there, it's your boy Caleko. It is day 2 of my Topaz Mountain adventure. I'm out here with Dave and Rhonda, and the day started off a little bit slow, which that's always the way it is for me, so it's no big deal. But Dave had some mechanical issues with his drill, which I don't know if you can see him in the background behind me. You probably can. There's a couple drill bits stuck in the concrete over here that aren't going to be removed until Monday probably, unfortunately. But along those routes, I had some luck in an area where I started breaking some rock apart. I've had some major luck. I've found more than a few really nice specimens. I'll show you some of those tomorrow when the sun's back up and it's all glinty and stuff. Really, the way to find topaz is to look for the white pegmatite. It gets rusty on the top, so it can be sort of a red and some brown, but you definitely want to look for the white pegmatite. And then from what I've noticed, you don't want to just go blasting it apart. Although you will find stuff that way, you can also destroy the crystals if you just go blasting it apart. Dave's been helping me with the saw. And after wandering around looking yesterday, with Dave's help and what this would have been a private prospecting tour on his website, which
I've found a lot more on his private prospecting tour than I did by myself yesterday, and some of the specimens I have are just absolutely gorgeous, you know, worth at least a few $100s. So I would say that the private prospecting tour is well worth it. And I'm pretty lucky because we're still going to do a private blasting tour on Monday, which is a $600 ticket. So I can't wait to see what comes out of the ground after what I found today. So I'll show you what I found today in my first video tomorrow morning. And we'll go from there. I'll leave the video running. I'll break this off and then show it to you. I'll probably clip that section out.
Get it? Oh.
No, broke the bug around it. You think you can cut that?
I think I can.
Think you can? We're going to see if you can cut that piece out for me, because it is a beautiful little...
Yeah, we've got that gem exposed.
Little gem.
Nice.
I'm not even sure. Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Type of service you get with a private prospecting tour. Some power tools and a generator running.
Oh, there we go.
Hopefully I didn't chip it too bad when it fell off right there. Yeah, nope, I wiped it right off.
You're good.
And it is a gorgeous piece. Let me get behind my camera. And that is a beautiful piece. This isn't the only beautiful piece I found inside of that section of rock that we've been moving. Right where Dave's feet just were, in front of his toes, you can see that big section of rock broken out. The rock on top of it, the pegmatite on top of it, had pieces all in it too. And on Dave's claim, they come inside of what you see right here.
By the way,
is calcite crystals.
Rhyolite, not pegmatite.
Oh, rhyolite, not pegmatite. I've been calling it pegmatite the whole damn time. It's rhyolite. You know, I heard somebody else call it pegmatite, so that's where I got the name from.
There is some out here, but the white stuff's all rhyolite.
Oh, so the white stuff is rhyolite. But the white stuff on here that you're seeing glittering around the other little crystals in that cluster is calcite. Yay! So it's day 3 for me on Topaz Mountain, and day 2 was so productive in this area that I'm sitting in right now. When I started, it was about where my shoulders are, maybe a little bit lower than that. It was definitely equal with this stone across here, and I've moved a whole bunch of stones. They're all behind me, and a ton of them have topaz riddled in them, just little ones, and possibly more inside some of these bigger stones. Stuff like that is in them. And I've just been honestly greedily looking for the big stuff, and I think I have another one underneath this. This spot through here was really promising, and I started to pop this open, and it has topaz right here and here and here. There's a whole line of topaz and gosh dang it, calcite running all through here. And so I started to pop it open. I think I saw some more color, so I wanted to turn the camera on. And the stuff I'm finding like this would not be truly possible if Topaz Mountain Adventures wasn't blasting in this area. If they weren't blasting, I wouldn't be able to move this stuff. And it's fully worth to pay the $25 to prospect on their land and be there legally, and have the opportunity to pull the kind of stuff I'm finding out today by yourself if you are hardworking and you can break enough stone and move enough rock. But it's definitely well more worth it, I believe, to go for a blasting tour, which I'm going to find out about tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing a blasting tour. Yay! So let's pop this rock open and see what's underneath. I think it's going to be great. I should have swept all this stuff out of my way already, but I didn't. Yippee! Well, it's promising looking. I got some topaz on the sides down here, and this has vugs all through it. So it's definitely something to possibly break apart. I got some little topaz over here on the ends, but looks like got a nice little piece down here. It got broken in the move. Definitely gem quality. Very pretty. But to tell you the truth, I was really hoping there was going to be more underneath that when I opened it up. We've seen some amazing stuff come out of these areas. Cool little pickers. So, that's a calcite pocket, that's for sure. It's running all back into here, so I mean, it's possible that there's a bunch more inside of that. There's another topaz picker. And once again, like I said, I'm sort of being greedy, looking for the really good stuff that's just making itself rather apparent as soon as I break it open. Because yesterday I found two pieces worth $500 a piece. And when you find pieces like that, you want more pieces like that. And every time I found them, it was when I'd roll something over like that last one I just did. Or this right here. This right here, possibly. I'm going to tap the rock and let it loosen up dirt and any shells that might be loose, and then it'll slowly shape cracks in it too and give me a spot to try and break it. It's definitely loose and hollow, or both. I'm not really trying to break the rock. I'm just trying to vibrate the crap out of it, so stuff like this happens. And stuff like this. You can sort of see this cracking starting to happen over there. And if you're wondering why I'm not just plucking out the little topazes I found, is because they're much more worth it as a specimen, to where they're attached to the calcite and the rock formation, the rhyolite. So I want them on pieces like that, which means I got to be more careful than just to pull the gemstones out themselves. I got to pull the whole rock out, all the rhyolite, and then, oh, there's a little pretty little one. Tiny, but definitely a gem. Need to pull the whole piece of rhyolite out. There's some topaz showing on top of this right here. so that I can get a better specimen. If I just pull a piece of gem out, it might be worth $5 or $10. If I pull a specimen out that has 3 or 4 nice little gemstones in it, it might be worth $400 or $500. So it's much more worth it to pull chunks out and see if you can break off nice specimens. My rock-breaking pry bar from Arkansas. Dude, gotta have one of these. Look at that big monster move for me. You can sort of see underneath. I don't see anything monstrously yellow, brown, honey-colored orange peeking out at me right now. That don't mean nothing though. Bang. If I just would have sat there and smashing on it with the hammer, man, it'd take me forever. And I already know there's some color in this. I can see a little piece right there. Another little piece right there. But I got color all around me. I'm looking for good stuff. So I want to expose this. And the way I'm sweeping stuff up, that's why rubber gloves are the best. Cloth gloves just smear stuff. If they're not wet, rubber gloves sort of roll it off. There's some pretty showing up right there. You can see that right on the lip right there. There's some more right there. These little pieces right there. But these are very small. I mean, that's sort of cool looking, but so those pieces are very small. I'm not really. I just broke that one, but I wasn't too much worried about it. I want to look underneath. And not a lot to look at underneath. Not super promising either. There are a couple thick calcite bugs, but it's really big stones, so. Nothing wrong with breaking that open, but I'm not really interested in doing that right this second. Some more little nice small jewelry points. Tiny little bit in this matrix. get something pretty showing itself. Look at that. Nice little multi-point that showed up. Don't just get rid of the dirt. Sweep through it. This little cluster, that sure is a gemmy little nodule sticking its head out, but it's very little still. Yeah, there are clusters all in this big old rock right here. So on this big ass piece of rock, which is very solid, sounds hollow all through here. Not right there. But there are some little pockets all through here, and most people just go ahead and pick everything out. But like I said, I want clusters. Clusters are valuable. So on that note, I think I'm going to turn you off and see what I can do about getting at this. 'Cause, I mean, there's some pretty stuff right there. Let's see. There's some little stuff all over this rock. I've been finding stuff like that everywhere. Hey, so it's day 3 for me on Topaz Mountain. I had a really productive day. There was a family out here that was digging today too, of 4 other people. They did really well today. The difference with digging on Topaz Mountain Adventures claim as opposed to going up in the wilds and digging it off is that I'm not just trying to break it off of like the rock face like you see behind me, which is rather difficult. Instead, they have blasted it and you have pieces of rock that you can break up and chisel apart and stuff like that, and it makes it to where finding specimen wise is way better than usually what you're going to get off of the public area, because you can only use hand tools, and trying to break off a specimen that looks good with a chisel and hammer and the vibration, it just doesn't happen too often. So I mean, I tried that my first day, so I've spent my rest of the day so far on his claim. Now let me show you the stuff I had from one day of mining, which would cost you 25 bucks by yourself just to come out here and break rocks. So let me show you that one day. Okay, this piece right there is really pretty, and it's sitting, there's all these vugs that have calcite in them, and some of them have color, like that one has color, and there's color in there, and there's another crystal sticking out there, and there's another vug. So that's a nice piece. This is actually the back side of that vug. These came off of the same rock, and you can see that rainbow it's pointing at me from that piece right there. It's gorgeous. A little bit of rock growing over it. Got some pieces I'm not keeping, but this is for, I set these aside for the owners. Another little piece I'm not keeping, but set aside for the owners. And I mean, this is still cool little pieces of topaz, but compared to what I found over the last couple of days, it's not worth for me to carry. So we've got this one right here. Gorgeous in there. Another pretty little piece. Really nice terminations on it. Totally gem quality. Nice little piece sitting inside of some calcite. And all these rocks on here have something on them. Nice little calcite cluster, or I mean topaz cluster with calcite clustered around it. This whole bucket is full of smaller pretty stuff that's already ready and smaller pretty stuff that needs to be cleaned, like this put in some hydrochloric acid to soak to eliminate the calcite will leave me with a nice topaz geode, which that'll be pretty awesome. And we're hoping for the same thing out of this one, because you can see the topaz inside of the calcite, although the calcite on this one's really cool. Sorry about that blurriness. So this whole bucket has got all that stuff in it. I've got a whole bunch of cool pieces and gemstone pieces inside of this container. I've also got some in a black bag in my pocket. Pretty cool stuff. Came out of the vug like that. Pretty awesome. Nice cluster. So that's those pieces, and then just in the last 30 minutes, which that's a lot of pieces still. Last 30 minutes I cracked open this plate right here, which it's got some super pretty vugs in it. Like, that one's the most awesome one so far, but there's some like rose hips over here with over there. And I mean, I'm assuming that since these are there, that this is covering that. It's possible that there's more stones all underneath this, which is pretty awesome. That means I got a topaz plate. Topaz plate! But I think for the day, this is the day maker right here for day 3. Whoa. I knocked off the rose tips, damn it. They weren't going to last shipping anyways, obviously. So anyways, this is the Mag Daddy. There's my thumb. There's the crystal. There's more than one in there that I can see right now. There's at least, oh, bad camera work, 1, 2, 3, 4 crystals. There might be some more underneath that calcite, because this all seems to be calcite. So there could even be more hidden underneath all of this. All of this. So that's with me out here by myself breaking rocks, and in all honesty, there was a good portion of the day where I wasn't breaking rocks, where I was helping other people find stuff. And I tell you what, I gave a lady a rock to break open, and it had more crystals in it and so much calcite, and it looks like when she washes it with hydrochloric acid, it's going to be like a topaz crystal forest inside of it. I think I gave away the best piece of the day, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes, and it's going to come back around anyways, because Dave's blasting for me tomorrow. So I mean, tomorrow I'm going to experience the full private blasting tour. And what does somebody get when they spend the money on something like that? Because I mean, between my first day and my second day, I hit a real honey hole on day 1, or my second day here, day 1 with Topaz Mountain Adventures. I hit a real honey hole on my own in loose broken up rock right over here. All that pit right there used to be about the same size as this over here, but I moved everything I could until I couldn't break any more rocks or move anything. So this adventure is going really good. This is going to be a really long video. Peace. So I'm still out here at Topaz Mountain. It's the 10th, so I've been out here way longer than I expected to. But the mine owners are really cool. We've become fast friends. The best piece I've found so far, I found just by breaking open rocks like that. That's how I found the best piece I found so far. But I found the most pieces, and the most good pieces, I think, by finding loose shelving from the blasts and hearing hollow spots and then breaking the shelving off like I'm doing over here. And I think I've got something really good I'm about to pull out of the ground. So I'm going to show it to you before I get it all uncovered, because there's this really nice crystal sticking up right here. Can you see that? Here, let me get out of the sun. There it is. There's that really nice crystal sticking up right there. And there's some other crystals on it. There's one right here. And the plate is loose, although that piece is loose all by itself. So the plate is loose because I've been working this whole top area right here, this giant rock. I moved that by myself and a couple of others that were on top of all of this. So I'm showing this to you now. I'm going to pull these loose pieces out. My tripod broke yesterday, unfortunately, so there's a nice little pretty. That's a nice one. Let's set that on the side over here. Whoops. Upside down so the sun doesn't get at it. I'd already loosened this up a bunch, so you're getting to see a lot more than I thought. And look at this. We got a little gem pocket that got broken up when I was loosening up the stone. Look at all that. And that. So this is the kind of action you can get on a private blasting tour. I got rained out yesterday, but if you spend the money on a private blasting tour, the mine owners are not going to care, especially if you're by yourself, if you spend an extra day or so getting the finds you can. A pretty cool little pocket of gemstones. There's still a bunch of little tiny pieces in there. For some of the pendants I plan on making for any viewers that, or anybody that wants some. Alright, that looks like just rock. I sure wish I had my tripod, but it's broken, so I'm gonna have to do the rest of this by hand. Here's some more color right there. Got a nice, whoops, I'm right in the way. Got a nice little point sticking up right there. So got some color on the sides. But that thing right there is gorgeous. Looks like we got a little bit more over here possibly. Yep, I'm breaking off little shards. There's a little loose calcite and topaz cluster right there. Whoops, sorry about that. Can't get my camera to focus right now very well. That's a pretty little cluster. Yeah, there's stuff falling out of that. So this is something pretty cool about the Topaz Mountain Adventures claim, is that a lot of their topaz comes out with calcite all over it. And so you end up getting these calcite chunks like this, that when you rub a little bit,
you start seeing some color. And I can't even see my screen, so I'm not sure if you can see that little bit of color. So this is probably like a nice cluster of crystals, and it's inside this calcite. I have some more that are like that, a little bit different. You can see there's nice crystals inside that calcite crystal, topaz. So you clean them with hydrochloric acid to get the calcite out. And sometimes you end up losing topaz crystals, so you just really do it depending on what you think the aesthetics are. But it's pretty awesome.
All right, so if you were to pay retail for the amount of days and what I got out of this adventure at Topaz Mountain Adventures, it would have cost you about $650. That's what you would have paid Topaz Mountain Adventures. Did I get my money's worth for that price? Ridiculously and overwhelmingly, yes. I'm going to show you some of the pieces that I got. I have way too many to go through all of them, and I think I have too many to even take with me, so I might just end up plucking little gems out, which sucks because I spent most of my time focusing on getting the vug out with the crystals inside of it, because they're more valuable as a specimen like that. And Topaz Mountain Adventures is the only place you're going to be able to get your specimens like that in the rock vug. So I'm going to start off with the best specimen. According to Dave, it's going to retail for somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. So let's look at it. Don't want to keep them in the sun too long, because then that takes the color out of them. He said it takes a couple of weeks of straight sunlight to leak all the color out, but so this is my best piece. It's got massive crystals in there. Got the whole vug. So Dave says that will retail between $1,000 and $2,000. Yay! That's an amazing piece. So I'll just go around the table here real quick. I've got all kinds of little stuff right here. Most of the stuff is just holding this shirt down. See, like little stuff like this. Itty bitty stuff. Beautiful piece. Look at that one. It's gorgeous. Grab a bunch of these little pieces and stick them up here while I move this shirt. See, awesome pieces, right? Awesome little pieces, right? So here's our two plates. I don't think I'm going to take this one with me. I know I am going to take this one with me because the gems that are in it are showing to be jeweler's grade, and it looks like this thing has vugs running all through it with little stones, so that's a pretty cool piece. This piece right here, I just spent an hour and a half cutting the back side of it so I could get it all out like that. Beautiful calcite and topaz matrix worth a few $100. And now all of that, all this stuff, I mean, I've got some pieces over here that have just got glinties all over them. This has got two vugs in it with beautiful crystals in it. Nice vug right there, crystals in it. Beautiful vug back here with crystals in it. All this. These two buckets got all kinds of beautiful stuff in them too. Gorgeous stuff, man. Everywhere I look, Caleko's got pretty crystals. Pretty, pretty crystals. And then we've got another little plate section with that beautifully cleaved gem right there. This dual vug right here needs to be cleaned out, but you can see the beautiful crystals in that down there. Beautiful crystals. This one's got crystals on two sides of it. Can you see that? Crystal. Crystal. So that's just the big stuff. There's still tons and tons of little stuff that I have everywhere. Not to mention the bag of gems I have here. The gems I have here. All these beautiful ones. Look at this gorgeous one right here. I got my $700 worth if I paid for a private blasting tour and 3 or 4 days out here by myself, but really it'd be about 2 days and a private blasting tour. So that would be well worth the money. Dave and Rhonda take care of you fantastically. They're good family style people. They care, and that's very important. So I'm gonna stop rating on a 1 to 10 scale because it just doesn't work, and I'm going to start using stars. And overall, I give this place 4 stars. I would have given it 5 stars, but it's 60 miles to the nearest gas station and place to buy food and ice and stuff like that. So that's a big deal. That keeps 1 star off. All that's going to be getting better out here, though. This is a very new mine. They've only opened up in a year for fee digging, so it's going to get better. And Super A+, Topaz Mountain rocks.